So,
Go in charge.
Board of Public Works meeting, Monday, August 12th. It's 6:04. We're going to begin. We'll have Shores on his way. Oops. Okay, so we're starting with hazardous waste day contract?
Yeah, we gotta read them all.
Oh, I have to read them off. See, I don't know the job yet. I guess I need to do, no, I'll do it. I'll do some studying. All right, we have action items, hazardous waste day contract. 2, mattress recycling agreement at transfer station. 3, universal and electronic waste disposal agreement, the transfer station. 4, SCADA monitoring agreement with wastewater. 5, driveway permits. 6, sewer connection costs. 7, tide gate emergency repair. And then discussion items, we have a DEP letter, Bridle Cross project sending to state reps. Number 2, Avon Force Main emergency repair spending. 3, sewer connections. 4, proposed improvements to Library Plaza Road. 5, hydrological study status, environmental partners, Bridle Crossing 40B. 6, Bay Ave, Duxbury Seawall, additional work in Marshfield possibility. 7, preliminary replacement design of Dyke Road tide gate structure. And then vote to accept minutes, July 29th, 2024, open meeting minutes from 2023, September 11th. Superintendent's report, and our next meeting is September 9th, 2024. Scheduled dates are subject to change. Hello.
Hi.
I almost just messed up your drawing.
No, it's all right. You're doing great.
I'll
I
second.
can sign his loss if you want.
So,
I'll second.
second, okay.
All in
Aye.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Did you vote?
I did, I voted. Oh, you didn't hear me.
Who's Sean?
He's fine.
Okay.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. All right, action items.
Oh, I just did it.
Okay, now I understand that,
Oh,
but do we want to go right into the order, or do we want to move anything up? Is anything higher priority that we need to discuss first? Having done? Well, I'll just go right down the list. Hazardous waste day, contract. Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. So
And Ryan for the record.
this is the annual household hazardous waste collection day that we have, which is scheduled for the 21st of September this year. So the scope of the work is to provide the personnel, material, and the vehicles to collect and remove for proper disposal any of the household hazardous waste materials that are collected at our annual event. The state has a bidding list that was, they just rebid it, so it's out July 1st. Out of that bidding list, there's 4 people who are on it, including the one that we've used in the past. The prices range from $33,000 down to $23,000, and I have a table that has all the details if you want to know how we got to those numbers. But it's based on the quantities that we received last year when we did the event, and the unit prices that these vendors have given to the state. So Trident is the lowest. Trident is the one that we've used in the past. Our analysis of their bid would be about $23,000. In account number 528040 for hazardous waste, we have about $62,000 available. So there's available budget for this contract. So last year we did utilize Trident, and they've been, in a couple of years prior to that as well, they've done a really good job for us, so we're very happy with them. Based upon the quotes, they are the lowest of all. Last year, I think there was a question when we selected them that they had this EIR fee, this extra environmental insurance recovery fee that was added on to their bid. We went with them even with that fee, and what they were trying to do at the time, I think, was just do a market correction. Now that July came and everybody rebid with the state, everybody's prices went way up, and theirs actually didn't. Theirs actually held because that EIR fee is kind of covering their costs. So we're very happy that they are now the lowest bidder in the state. So based upon that, we would like to go ahead and recommend that we go with Trident for another year.
Okay, any comments from the board?
No.
Okay, I have a couple comments. Since we're on TV, I want to let people know what can they bring and what they can't bring. So in the bid, it says, waste oil. Define waste oil,
Use motor oils.
okay. And people actually can take it back to different stores also.
They can return it to stores.
So you don't have to wait for our day.
Right, they do not.
Okay. Define propane, less than 20 pounds and then 20 pounds or more.
So,
Is that the tank,
yes, the propane tanks, yes.
empty?
Yes.
Okay.
What if it's,
Yeah, can't you take those now to the recycling center now?
Yes. Yep, that's part of the universal waste that we take at the recycling center right
So
now.
they don't have to wait for the,
They don't have to. This is the material that people brought to us last year
Okay.
in this table.
okay.
I have a question about that. So do you know that it's empty when you take it?
The propane tanks?
Yeah.
I mean, they can
Sometimes
take
they
them,
can already have some in there too.
they can take them full, they can take them empty.
Okay.
They'll properly take care of those.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is lead batteries. Define lead batteries.
The car battery.
Just a car battery? Not
Car battery, motorcycle battery, lawn tractor battery, the closed
Okay.
cell lead acid batteries.
And isn't that something we take at the?
That is as well, yes.
Okay,
As well as all the other batteries, yes.
yeah, so waste oil, so that my point is, since people are watching at home, you don't have to wait to this day, you can still bring it to the, we want to get it out of the environment, and we don't want it, just wait for the 1 year. Okay, this is dear to my heart, lithium and alkaline batteries. People don't know what the hell to do with them.
Yeah, you can bring those to the transfer station. We take care of those at the transfer station as well.
Okay, but you should not be putting them in the trash.
You should not be putting the lithium batteries in the trash. The alkaline batteries, the regular AA batteries, and all those can actually go in the trash. Those are okay.
All right, then the fluorescent bulbs,
Yes, and those can all be brought to the transfer station at any point in time with our universal waste, but people do tend to bring them to these events as well.
okay, fire extinguishers.
Same thing, we take those at the transfer station and we will get rid of them at this hazardous waste day.
E-waste, what's e-waste?
Electronic waste, so that's anything basically with a plug. VCRs, DVD players, computers, anything like that.
Okay,
We don't like them to be brought to this hazardous household waste day, but if somebody does bring it, then we will take care of it. But they can take those to the transfer station at any time.
and then smoke detectors.
Smoke detectors have a little bit of mercury in them, so you want to handle those correctly. We take those at the transfer station normally, but also take them on this day.
They also have radioactive waste.
Yes,
That's how it functions.
yes.
Okay. All right, so that basically, you don't have to wait till September 21st to bring all this, is my point. You can bring it every day of the week to the recycling center, but if you want to wait till September 21st, we do it as the collection.
Yes, but to get to your point, the hazardous household waste day is really about those things like in your garage, your pesticides, your fertilizer, those chemicals that you have that are just sitting around that are kind of rotting on the shelf that you get rid of. Those are the things we'll take.
That's really what it's all about.
Yes.
Okay. All right,
Didn't there used to be paint, didn't there used to be oil-based paint on this list?
That's usually in the small load, full load, half load. If you look at the top of that table, that's when people bring it in. They'll have a car with a mixed.
Oh, okay.
So
That's what that means.
that'll be your pesticides,
Oh,
your
right,
fertilizers,
okay.
your paint, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And it's not new latex paint. It's
Right, it's
oil-based
just oil-based,
paint.
right.
Latex paint, you can just dry out in a can
Yeah,
and put that in your regular trash.
so if you have oil paint, don't put it out the backyard, bring it to the hazardous waste site.
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments? No? Ann? No comment? Okay, John? I'll make a motion to award the household hazardous waste collection agreement, contract number 2025-06 to Trident Environmental Group for an estimated value of $25,000, actual billing based on unit price basis from the FAC 110 fee schedule, and authorize the chairman or designated member to execute the contract documents when they are prepared. Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. Of all the events we do, I think this is one of the most important ones we do here. Okay, next item. Mattress recycling agreement at transfer station.
that's me again. So we take mattresses at the transfer station. The DEP a couple years ago banned mattresses from disposal. They take up a whole bunch of space in landfills that's unnecessary because there's a lot of materials in mattresses that are recyclable, whether it's the metal in the springs, whether it's the wood in the frame, or even the ticking and the cloth that they can separate. So we've had a couple different companies that have done it for us. So what the contract is to provide proper recycling for these mattresses that are pulled out. We have there is a state contract, which again was effective on July 14th of this year, so it's a new bid for the state contract. There were 5 people who bid on that, and the prices ranged all over the place. What we have is what they call a milk run, which is where we separate them out. We have a storage container at the transfer station, and then they dispatch a truck when we're full, and they come and take them from us. So the prices range from $33 to $50 per unit for the various vendors. Tough Stuff Recycling is the one that we use, and they are the lowest price bidder at $33 per unit.
So what do
So,
we charge for a mattress?
35.
35. So we're just breaking even.
Yes. So, the account number 524020 is facilities repair, solid waste. That has $138,000 in it. So we have enough money to do this contract. They've done a great job for us so far. Tough Stuff Recycling. Last year, just to put it in a frame of reference, we did 1,200 mattresses that we recycled in Marshfield last year. So if we assume that 1,200 would be going forward at the $33 per unit, it's almost $40,000 to recycle those mattresses. So our recommendation is to continue ahead with the vendor that we've used since they are the lowest price on the state bid list.
Okay. Any comments from the board?
No.
No? Looks like 10% of households are getting rid of one mattress. Very much. So I'll make a motion to award mattress recycling agreement, contract number 2025-04 to Tough Stuff Recycling of Fitchburg, Mass. An estimated value of $39,600, actual building cost on a unit price basis, and actual units recycled. To authorize the chairman and designated member to execute the contract documents when they're prepared. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the next one is a universal electronic waste disposal agreement.
So yes,
I think that's Ken again.
that is me again, yes. So similar to the discussion we just had on Household Hazardous Waste Day, we pick up at the transfer station universal electronic waste all the time. So what this contract is for somebody to come in, to bring personnel, to pack up the materials that we collect, and to ship it off-site for proper recycling. And it's both for the universal and electronic waste. As we said before, the electronic waste is basically anything with a plug. The universal waste is the lamps, mercury-containing devices, and batteries. So, again, the state has a contract for that, and that is effective on July 1st. We had Complete Recycling, NLR, and Veolia, who are on that bid list. We've been using Complete, but NLR came in with a lower price. We met with NLR, showed them our operation, confirmed that the pricing that they have works for us. That is again 524020 in the budget, which is $138,000. So as I said, we've used Complete Recycling in the past, but this year we're recommending that we go with NLR because they have the lowest price, and we met with them, and they did confirm that our price will work for them at our facility. In addition to the estimate where if I looked at last year's quantities again with this year's unit rates, we came up with about $16,500. We also procure packaging from them. So the bulbs, all those fluorescent bulbs, you don't want to break them. So you need to buy boxes or barrels, or we get pallets for the electronic equipment and these giant boxes that we package everything in. So in addition to the $16,000, there's a couple thousand more that we end up paying for the packaging of the material, and that's pretty much straight across the board. So the value of the contract is a little more than the 16. So I'm estimating about 18,500. But our recommendation is to go ahead with NLR on this project.
Okay, comments from board?
Yeah, how are they so much lower? Are they new?
They seem to be very aggressively going after people. They also opened up their own light bulb recovery facility. So they are out of Connecticut. They take the stuff and they actually suck out the mercury containing gas in the bulb. They crush up the glass, they take the metal ends off, they take the glass and they use it as daily cover at an ash landfill in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. So they've kind of got a whole system set up. And I agree with you, based upon the state contract, they're bidding aggressively to get new customers in. Probably because they invested all that money into their facilities.
Into the lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Any other comments, any comments from the floor?
No.
No? Hearing none? I make a motion to award the Universal Electronic Waste Recycling Service Agreement, contract 2025-07 to NLR of East Windsor, Connecticut, for an estimated value of $18,500, actual billing based on unit price basis from FAC 110 fee schedule, and to authorize the chairman or designated member to execute the contract documents when they are prepared. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, next one is the SCADA monitoring agreement wastewater. This is Ken again?
Yes.
All right, I feel like Jeopardy here.
Gotta be quick with a buzzer. So, SCADA, first off, what is SCADA? SCADA is Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition System. So what that is that's the computer system that connects all of the pump stations and the treatment facility together. So if you've ever been to one of those facilities, there'll be a computer that has all of the equipment on there and it's registering how the equipment's working, different levels for different tanks, run status, errors, and everything. So Woodard and Curran is the one who's is bidding on this job, and they actually designed the SCADA system that works at our facility, keeps our facility running. For this contract, it's about $10,000 annually. $3,600 is an annual subscription fee to use their service, and then they have some time in there for T&N. As we call them up when there's an issue, they're 24/7 on call, waiting for our call, and they're very responsive when we do call them. So we have account number 524099, other repair and maintenance at the wastewater, with $76,500 in it. So we do have the budget for this. We've used Woodard and Curran for years at the facility, and they're the ones who designed our system. They've done a great job with us troubleshooting the system when we have issues and keeping it running for us. So we recommend going ahead with this contract.
Any comments from the board?
No, I'm all set.
I got a couple. It's proprietary, that software?
Their program is, so we would have to, if we brought somebody new in, we'd have to
We do the whole
rework
thing.
it, yeah.
Is it all proprietary, is there any universal?
Some of it's universal,
Yeah.
yeah.
But because when was the system we put in? Having these guys as,
It's been a while, right, Ron? The SCADA system?
Yeah.
Because it was probably when we did all the pump stations, the all community bid.
Right, yeah, that's Big Central Avon, so that was 2010,
Yeah.
about that time.
what's the advantage and disadvantage of having a proprietary system and tied to them?
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of the
What's
type
it,
of.
yeah, that's the disadvantage, but also, what would be the advantage of, what would be the cost of going for a universal system? A lot of money?
Yeah, I
More
think
than
it
the
would be.
contract's worth?
Yes.
That's okay, that's all I want to sell.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason why, it
Yeah.
costs us more than the contract's worth for the people.
Yes.
All right. Having said that, I'll make a motion to award SCADA monitoring wastewater contract 2025-05 to Woodward and Curran for Portland, Maine, for an estimated value of $10,000. Actual billing based on time and material charges for services provided, and to authorize the chairman or designated member to execute the contract documents when they are prepared. A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Joe, go ahead.
Aye.
Quick
Name and
question.
address for the record.
Joe Pasevich, 25 Wilson Road. With Wood and Curran, did they have a similar contract last year, and were there any extraordinary costs involved with maintaining and running that system? Did they charge the town for anything else in other words?
Yeah, so this contract is $3,600 for the subscription fee to actually use the program, and then they're estimating $6,400 a year on time and materials to troubleshoot and fix when we have issues or make changes to equipment or anything like that. And I don't believe we've gone over that or had any extraordinary bills.
At one time, they had to change out all of the PLCs.
When we did the upgrade for all the facilities, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a different, yeah. There was a capital where we changed out a whole bunch of the PLCs and had them communicate together, so there was a bump up fee that year. But other than that, they've been doing a pretty good job keeping everything under control.
Thank you.
Okay.
You didn't
Number
vote?
5.
You didn't vote?
We voted. All right.
Oh, you made the motion in the second, but I didn't hear the vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Can I ask for a pause for a second?
Sure.
Amy, do we have a Wi-Fi password in here? Does anybody know? You don't know? I have my draft of that letter in my email, and my phone won't pick up my email. Because I don't know why. I need to be on the Wi-Fi.
All right, next
Anyways,
one.
go on.
I'm gonna butcher the last name.
Marshfield.
Driveway permit, Moroni and Perez, Roselle.
Gazelle.
Who's taking this?
Driveway permits, Ron?
Yeah, I don't know a heck of a lot about it, but
I'm Maroni.
Charlie did brief me.
Do you want to come up and?
You,
Yeah.
Charlie did brief me, and it was a matter of,
The gentleman's right here.
So we have two different two separate driveway permits?
I believe that's not,
Two separate, okay, the first one is small,
Maroni.
Moroni.
Yes, sir.
And that's on Nevada Street,
Yes, sir.
73 Nevada Street, and you're looking to move the pole somewhere other than the side yards.
you just want to state your name and address, please.
William Maroni, 73 Nevada Street. Well, I have a petition with the town about the pole to be moved. And then,
You can sit with her.
I was told that I'd have to,
Come on in.
put a cap in front of the horse or something that I needed to, identity removed. So I went in the next day,
And I'll be up front.
filled out the application. A gentleman named Charlie came up to my house, and 2 weeks passed, I haven't heard anything. I called up, he called me back and he said, "You're all set, I don't see any problems, you don't need a permit." And then the following day, he called me back and he goes, "Yeah, you do, you have to go and sit on the board." So I'm kind of confused as to why
Well, yeah.
he would tell me one.
Well, the Board of Public Works is per discussions a few months ago, we'll be required by the town charter to review all driveway permits.
Oh, no,
And
I don't
all
follow
pole
it. I
permits, because it's
just-
within our layout.
yeah.
So it's within the layout, the board is required, not staff, but the board is.
No, Charlie was the nicest gentleman, he came back
I
out, I
like
had
Charlie.
signed the form, and, you know, and I happened to look on the line, and I said, oh, damn, I had a meeting, get that doing the meeting the other day. today."
So it looks like the pole is in the middle of your side yard, which is only
Yes, sir.
about 10 feet long.
Yeah,
About 10 feet long?
little long, it's 11 feet in the back, and then it widens in the front, so.
Yeah. So you're about 10 feet.
Why, you mean, or?
Yeah, so it looks like this, between his fence here, which is probably his property line, is that your property line? This right here, is this your property line? Right
Okay,
there?
right over here, this is the property line, and that's the way we're supposed to put the pole.
So that you wanna move the pole off of your side, so your property line comes right out, property line to here?
Yeah, yes.
So you wanna move the pole from here to next to the neighbor's property?
Well, it's still gonna be on my side of the property line. After 50 feet.
Aren't we discussing the driveway?
Yes.
Yes, this is the driveway, yeah, this piece.
Right,
So
so,
he wants to move the pole so that he can have clear access to the side yard. Did I get that right?
right, but we have driveway on our,
I know,
Yeah,
he
not
wants to do
pole.
a driveway because there's no space down there. Well, there's very limited space in that whole street.
As you can see, when I bought the home in 2020, I had a driveway on this side.
Yeah.
But all the property up there is, I found out later on, is all registered land. You know, like, here's the property
can you
line.
pass those papers over this way?
Yeah.
Can we see those, please?
Sure. You know, that's from
I mean, I can't really see, it's so
2014.
small.
Yeah, so basically, you've got one driveway on the right side,
But now
and
that's
you're
gone.
parking in front of the house, and before there was vegetation on the left side. So you took the vegetation out, and you want to make a second driveway.
No. The neighbor put a fence up on the property line.
So is this fence your property or his property?
That's my fence.
That's your fence.
This is the neighbor on this side threw a fence up that went right up to here.
So which house is yours?
This is mine.
Your house, okay.
We're gonna need to pass those down.
Okay.
So
So they're all 5,000 square foot lots
So
on it?
whose
Yeah.
fence is this?
that's.
Which side is this?
77's.
Which, so this is
That's on
on,
the opposite side.
okay, so it's on the left
Yeah.
side.
That's over this side. So, I mean, basically, that
He's
fence,
73.
that
Yeah,
fence took away my driveway.
John, it's-
How,
how do we do that?
how did that, what do you mean it took away the other? I don't understand.
Well, like,
Whose property is that fence on?
it's on 77th.
Okay, so how did that take away your driveway?
Well, as you can see, like in here, here's my house, here's the pole, here's my driveway. They put their fence, which was right here, over 4 feet, and now their fence goes
Oh,
right
So,
there.
so basically, you were using the.
All
whole-
the properties are 4 feet.
Yeah, so this is his property line to here, correct? This is all your property line, from this point to this point.
No,
Okay.
well, like, to that point.
Right, so they didn't put their fence on your property?
No.
Okay, so I'm not sure how the fence took away your driveway. It's
But
not
then
on
you
your
put a
property.
fence on this side,
Well,
and then with the pole in the middle.
How did that happen with the fence on the other person's property?
So it looks like this side of the fence on 77 is right on this brick, right on this stone or brick, whatever it is, walkway that they have, right?
yeah, I mean, here's the survey. Like I said, their fence, this is the survey, there's the nail head, and it goes right up to my fence, that picture I showed you. Which took away, because I thought it used to go this far over.
Right.
So whatever it took away here, I added on this side, which is like 14 feet.
But
And the pole is right
And the
there.
poles go out right there, yeah.
So I just want to make a request that we not discuss the pole, because we're discussing the driveway.
No, I
That's what we
understand.
have in front of us.
Yes. No,
So he wants some-
no, but he was asking me whether,
I understand,
and then you start saying a second driveway, no, I
Right.
lost the first
I
driveway.
understand, I just don't want to
You can't fit
discuss
a
the
car-
pole.
You can't fit a car here anymore.
Okay,
Yeah, so he's moving the driveway from this side to this side.
I lost it on that side and I just picked it up.
okay, but I'm still going back to this fence here.
Yeah, that's. I
Took
put
away
that-
your driveway.
No,
This-
No,
this
that's
is-
this side, yeah.
that's the opposite side.
That's where,
That's 69.
Okay, so where's the side that you said they took away your driveway?
yeah. Right
Okay,
On this side here.
okay, so where's that fence shown?
there.
Right, but that doesn't show it in relation to the driveway.
Actually, here's his, here's his. Yeah, so his driveway used to be this over here. They moved it over, so he got, instead of 12 feet, he's now got 8 feet.
Okay,
And then basically he put a fence.
yes, no,
up
I
to the
understand. So then he's trying to make a driveway here. So on this fence, looking at your house on the right side,
Yes.
where they put this fence up, that's on your neighbor's property, it's not on yours?
No,
Okay, so,
How could they take it away from that?
so you had a driveway that you thought was on your property,
yes.
but it wasn't, it was on your neighbor's property.
Well, like I explained, back in 1945, they found out all the property lines were 4 feet off, a neighbor, surveyor mentioned that to me when he took the mark from Constellation saying, she's right, but she put up the fence, she had every right, that's the property line. And I'm saying like, well, Jesus, her stone wall ends here, she told me I had to trim half her tree. And I used to cut the little strip of grass right there, and now it's all hers, and then some.
Right, so she put up the fence and then you lost that use of that area where your
Yes, her
driveway
driveway,
was.
yes. My
Okay.
truck wouldn't fit there, put it that, you know what I'm saying?
Right, I understand, so now you've made kind of a gravel area.
Well, I had all the stonework done in the backyard with a permit, and I didn't feel like cutting it, so I said, he did the front of the house all stone. Underneath the porch, he started throwing the gravel, I said, throw it, because, the bobcat was.
Was that like all just dirt right
Yeah,
there?
it was grass to walk over, but the bobcat going up and down to the backyard, and I said, just throw the gravel out there, that way I don't have to cut it.
Okay, all right.
That's what you think it's a driveway, but it's not a driveway until either, A, I get your approval and the town to move the pole, or,
So all we're
Okay.
gonna prove is the driveway or not?
yeah.
How wide does the driveway have to legally be? Okay,
It doesn't
10
have.
feet,
Yeah,
right,
normally 10 feet.
okay, and so how wide is this area that we're looking at in our
14
packet?
feet.
Okay,
How wide?
Yeah, I would've
14.
been sorry, but.
Yeah, see, it's 11 here, and it's 14 down here.
right,
Yeah.
So he's just got enough between the fence and his property line, which is the fence is on
I
the
mean, I didn't put the fence, I gave that foot. Are you supposed to leave a foot in case you have to repair the fence?
yeah.
It's not a bylaw, it's not a law, but they said to leave a foot behind, so you can
Supposed
repair
to
it.
be.
Yeah, so you got 10 feet to the house.
Huh?
Supposed to be a foot off the property line,
Yeah,
on her property.
yes, it is.
Yeah.
I had another picture, but I mean, like, the people on the other side, they didn't do that, they put it right up top of the property line.
Okay.
Which, again, I have no qualms, they can do what they want, but, like I said, I swear, I thought I had the picture. They even put an additional fence that was out to the street on town property, and I was talking to the building inspector, and she goes, oh, no, she said she's not gonna go beyond her property. I said, well, there's a stake in the ground for her property, the nail, and the guy's adding another 3 feet. So she says that's hers, and that's town property, so that's where her property ends. And that's another can of worms that, Andrew with the town says, it's not bothering anybody, I don't care.
I'm sorry, explain that again?
If I can find it, she extended her fence out to the street.
You're talking about on the other side?
Yeah, 77.
Okay.
And it was just like,
I'm trying to get my email. Did you say you had a password, Brian? Oh my God, how do you do this?
Could you,
Do you park your cars in front of your
Yeah.
house?
This is, okay, so is
I
this,
got a question.
I don't know if he heard you.
can you park,
Do
can
you
you?
park your cars in front of your house?
need to be a setback from
Huh?
You park a lot of your cars in front of your house.
well, I had, yes.
That's
I
a
mean, I had
issue
me,
of
my wife,
safety.
and 3 older
Right, I know,
sons
but
who were
we
getting
feel it to
married.
be,
No, you can have.
So
you
I have kids
Well,
to
You do have parking.
You need a building.
Yeah, there's enough for 2 cars there, I mean,
Oh,
in
the
front.
gas company
Okay.
come in.
But that's only because I got rid of the
but how
garden.
far
Valid.
do they go? Just like a foot or so?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that has to be.
Yeah.
You just have to get his cars off the street.
On the side of your house.
Yes.
He has to put that there,
Right,
and then
that's-
is
that
there
would-
still
that would
gonna
Park
be
your
room?
cars
That
right
would
up to
be-
that gas meter.
Well, they're gonna put those 2 poles in, I would hope, right?
Who's gonna
And
put
then
that?
there would still be
Yeah,
room.
I'll
14,
take
so
that
that's
road.
14
I was
feet.
supposed to put
So
those
So
in.
that's a
I've
gas
seen every
company.
house off Surf Island, my
Like
friends
this.
live in here, they all got 2 poles
Alright.
to block, so you don't hit the
It's a
gas pipe.
motion. That has to deal with the public safety component.
Right, I know, so, okay, this is probably,
I mean,
it's just gonna keep going back and forth between us and the select board because
Well,
of
what
all
might-
of the issues.
This is
with
what
the
we're
poll.
gonna stop.
I know.
because It's causing a lot of
I know.
controversy.
But there's, doesn't seem like there's any legal way
Yeah.
to know.
Like I said, they came out, the property line stops here, this wall, but she added this on. And she parks her car over there. And if you're saying that's 10 feet, that's a little mini Cooper. She didn't get a permit,
okay.
because pictures of the Bobcat doing all the work too.
No, I see that.
Do you have that?
That, no, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, you have that. I can't get any, I can't get my email, I don't know what the problem is. It's annoying.
So the issue is the same as the gas line.
Yeah, that's what I said, but this
Right.
gas, where's the picture? You had
The
it,
what?
with the gas meter, that's the issue.
Right here.
Yeah, yeah, there was another picture,
Okay.
it was in the emails that I
Okay.
sent,
Yeah.
and where they won't load.
So the issue is you have a need, but you also have a public safety issue.
Mhm.
So I think at this point, until, we can't make a decision unless we get some kind of confirmation from the public safety and the gas company about the gas meter, of the car being so close to the gas meter, because it puts other people at risk.
Because you can't park vehicles within, what's the distance?
10 feet.
Whatever,
10 feet.
10 feet, and whatever the
You
gas
can't park
company
a
allows.
vehicle within 10 feet of the gas meter?
10 feet of the lot line.
And then, yeah, and gas meters there.
And what?
And then there's the gas meter,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I see plenty of gas meters on people's streets and cars parked right up next to them.
Where? You see plenty, but tell me where.
On Constitution,
Where on Constitution?
on the beach side.
You're making a comment that you see plenty, I'd just like to know.
Well, I don't wanna rat people out and get them in trouble.
So,
That's enough of that.
I mean, that's why you put 2 concrete barriers on it so no one hits them, correct?
So what my position would be on this is that, since it's a public safety issue with the gas meter, you need to go to the gas, you need to resolve the gas
Well, the
meter
driveway-
issue on that side before we allow the driveway to be put in.
Well, you
that
can't, I
location.
can't have a driveway till the telephone moved anyway, so.
Well,
No, I get that, but the issue is you also have the gas meter. The gas meter is too close to where the cars are going.
Can I see that?
Okay.
So I would like to put this whole issue on hold.
Well, there's quite a few issues, because I also did watch the select board meeting with the poll, and there was a lot of issues with that. So there's issues with this
The zoning
this
issues. too.
zoning issue with the driveway, there's issues,
How can it cause that, does it?
there's,
I have one too,
unfortunately,
I have a
no.
handicap sticker.
So am I, sir. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the issue of having a driveway on that side would be close to the back door. Huh?
I have a handicap sticker too,
Okay.
and I don't use it for a driveway.
So,
That's for parking.
That's the park,
Yeah.
yes.
It's not, you,
So that it has nothing to do with
It's
the
for a public
American
park.
Disabilities
Public park.
Act, that I can't walk that path? That I have multiple?
I'm not gonna argue with you.
Well, you tell me you
So,
have one,
okay.
but you're trying to trump me.
I
I'm telling
actually
you,
don't,
I have
think we know
so
the
many
answer to
issues
that.
with my body.
So,
I'm not gonna argue with you.
I would like to put this on hold because there's too many questions out there with public safety
Yeah.
on this issue. I'm
Okay,
not
well,
gonna.
So what if the car doesn't go past the
I
gas
see
line?
your need. I see your need. I see your need. You got squeezed on one side and you get squeezed on the other side. And you got issues with a pole that's in the way, and you also have an issue with the gas line, with the gas meter. And so until those things are resolved, to be quite honest with you, I see your need. I would like to, before I would approve something like that, I would like to see those issues, how they're going to be addressed.
Well, okay.
I'm only one person on this board. There's 2 other people on the board, but I'm just gonna give you my position. I see a need, but I also need to look at it, because if you hit the gas line, that's gonna affect other people that
I
are on the,
understand that,
on the
totally.
street.
But again, how am I gonna hit it?
I'll get you in a minute.
They put 2 poles on each side of it, so.
They're wrong about the gas mitigation.
I'm more concerned about the gas line than I am with the pole.
The gas meter, so it doesn't get hit. That was my understanding of seeing all these ones. And the person telling me, yeah, they just came down and did all the whole street, put the gas poles in. All brand this high gas poles next to the meters.
Billiards. They call them billiards.
Is that what they call them?
Billiards. Billiards when you hit with the ball, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
So, my question is, with the poll, you know, the poll was denied by the selectmen, I watched that meeting. And your neighbor, if the poll was moved, interfered with his EV connection for his vehicle.
Okay, no, it doesn't interfere with the EV
Well,
connection.
I'm just
I
telling
had, you showed you a picture of where the pole is supposed to go and where the EV connection is. And since you brought the EV connection up, what am I gonna do about his 200 amp wires that run under my property? Because when you installed the EV, it was before the girls took the property line and made it move 4 feet over. Now, my contractor's seen the wires under there, and I told this to Andrew, and he didn't care about it, and I was like, so if I get electrocuted because this EV wires are running under my property to go to his house, and the guy just moved the station over, but he didn't do nothing about digging up the wires. Don't worry, I'll be digging those up tomorrow. I already called safety. And then Andrew turned around and said, that's between you and him, civil. It's like, really? 8 months ago, you told me that you were fine with it.
Okay, so, what is the board's pleasure?
I don't think we can make, we can't give a grant permit on this driveway right now.
Right, it's on hold.
Yeah.
So we're on hold from the standpoint that there's an issue with the gas meter and there's a public safety issue.
there's a zoning issue.
And
There's a zoning issue. So basically,
We got-
our hands are tied from other entities in the town. All right? So I saw a hand go up in the back of the room. Name and address for the record.
Tom Dacey, Champion Builders. I just heard this guy about the gas meter. It's very common for the gas company to locate a meter, and if they need a bollard for protection, they'll require one. But there's no distance required for parking. That's all on public information on Eversource. So just for the
Okay.
homeowner, just so it knows.
Thank you for the
People look that up
clarification.
online.
We still don't have enough information to make a decision
No.
one way or the other.
I mean, according to our zoning officer, there is.
Yeah, we can't make a decision.
No.
So they ask you this then, so the $16,000, 11,000 I gave Verizon to move the pole, and another 4,000 I gave Eversource to move their wires a year and a half ago, is gonna sit in limbo until someone comes up with an answer?
Well, I think that, I mean, have you gone to the zoning board of appeals and asked them?
No, sir.
Well, the zoning board of appeals is the entity in town that can override the building commissioner and, to do something.
Well, again, I'm new to this game.
Okay.
I lived in a town with selectmen and boards and everything
Oh,
else.
yeah, I get it.
I grew up in Boston, moved to Easton, raised my kids, and been coming down here since I was a newborn. So I'm finally living here permanently, and it's nerve-wracking, to say the least.
So what I'm saying to you is that I'm not denying anything. I'm
Yes,
putting it on hold.
yes, I
So that
understand.
we can get other, so we can actually, figure this out. I don't see that, I see what your problem is, and I feel for you, but I can't make a decision based on when it's being presented to me at this point about the public safety component.
So you're talking about the gas line?
Now we go to the ZBA, and the gas line, and appeal to them.
Okay. I would speak to that gentleman in the back seat again, because I had the understanding, I thought they put those billiards or whatever you call them on each side of the gas fixture so it won't get hit. And now you tell me I have to be 10 feet away from that?
I don't know, that's beyond the scope of this,
Well, that's what
from
you
us.
mentioned.
Do you have
comment?
No, I just know the driveways have to be at least 10 feet wide, 12 at the most.
Right, that's the driveway, it's not, right.
Right.
He has enough space for a driveway on that side. I see his need.
Yeah,
The issue is that there's a gas meter and there's a pole in the way.
so what you should do is go to the zoning board.
He needs to go to the zoning board of appeals and make an appeal.
The zoning problem.
Appeal for what? The gas line?
No, you got a zoning.
Well, I already have an appeal going with the petition for the town that they're denying me to move the pole.
Yeah, by going to the zoning board of appeals, they can waive certain zoning rules.
Right.
Yes. Well, I'm not trying to break any laws and have.
No, I know,
any
it's-
ways,
I understand
I'm just trying to,
I mean, if I was in the same
I-
situation, that's what I would have to do.
you gotta look at my other viewpoint is, I bought the house for X amount of dollars because I had a driveway, because of the parking, because being so close proximity to the beach. Now you just took my driveway away, so now I just lost $50,000, maybe to $100,000, because I don't have that.
But you need parking, you need to have a driveway for the winter time. I see you
Well,
need,
that was, someone else mentioned that to me too, I didn't wanna bring that can of worms up. Park off the street so the plows can come down. And again, I said, I trumped my last car was with the handicap thing. I got cirrhosis of the liver, I got type 2 diabetes, I got a pacemaker, I got osteoarthritis, I got thyroidism. Everything's covered under ADA.
We don't know the answer to that question about the, ADA placard in terms of
No, well,
the
I'm sure when I
driveway
call the
issue
Department of
for
Justice
private
tomorrow,
parking.
they'll have an answer for me.
well, for me, yeah, I think what you need to
Justice
do is
Department.
go back to the building commissioner and ask if you can appeal the issues to the zoning board of appeals.
Okay. So the building,
David.
I don't go to the,
The zoning, the building commissioner, the zoning board of appeals
Thank you.
has the building commissioner as their employee. Am I correct on that?
Right.
And then if someone that doesn't meet within certain zones, there's always an appeal to do so.
So, so the zoning board is where you need to go, the building department zoning board is where you need to go to deal
It
with
needs to
the,
go to the building commissioner.
right, the building commissioner, because of the,
it's funny, when I was with Andrew,
Restrictions to the
when
lot
he
line.
helped me put the permit together for my 4-foot retaining wall in my backyard, he wrote right here, he told me I should do this now, which I wish I did a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, come next month. Zoning Board of Appeals, Board of Public Works, non-conforming lot, 5,300 square feet, difficult area. I like to review it under the site plan approval for compliance with the zoning bylaw.
Yeah. And they can waive the bylaw.
I mean, that
If they
was
choose to.
Andrew telling me to do something, and I'm like, I'm not even at that stage yet, well, put the driveway in and out, or knowing how much space was there, you know? I'm just playing it by ear, trying to be a good neighbor, like I said, I put the fence a foot over, my retaining wall comes over another foot. This guy's, my neighbors planting stuff in my property technically, and like I said, when Zach asked me, when the guy showed up with a telephone pole last year in March to move it 3 feet, so I guess you can move the pole 3 feet without getting in this scuffle. The kid goes, Verizon, he goes, well, where's that go? And he goes, I don't know, and I said, it goes under my property. And Zach's like, it does? I'm like, yeah, that's what the guy told me, he did put the rock down when he was living it up, he seen it. So, it's probably not 2 feet deep like it's supposed to be, it's not marked clearly like it's supposed to be,
It's another issue.
Yeah,
and it's on my
it is.
property.
Well, we gotta
Okay.
move on here, that's another issue.
Okay, so, I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Sorry for
I'm
your
sorry we couldn't help.
Sorry, couldn't help you.
Like I said, I'll go see the building board of appeals.
Building commissioner,
Yeah.
that's what we have to see.
The zoning board of appeals.
Those properties are
Okay,
The first he has to go see the building.
Oh, you're fine, you're
okay,
fine.
next person,
So did they have that guy?
72 Island Street. Is someone here for 72 Island Street?
So looking for a second driveway.
I know, yeah, I did.
Did you get a sketch?
So what are we,
So the next item is 72 Island Street, looking for a second driveway.
Islands.
Island.
Well, I have a picture in here, it's totally dark.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know what,
Charlie gave me this.
Oh, I can't see any.
yeah, you can't see it at all.
Yeah,
Road
Charlie's
from
got,
fence to cobblestone border. Along house. Existing sidewalk, okay, thanks. All right,
So 11 feet wide, and then we'll have to, up to press it, and then towards the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Proper slope, so.
which, so this house is drawn up?
No, it's just different.
This house, okay.
They have one-
Oh, right.
Why?
And this is their, where's their property line? Is this fence their property line, the edge of the, I mean, you have the space, I guess, right?
Cul-de-sacs.
Yeah. So that's, th- this is their property line right here? Okay. And that's 11 feet where they want to put it?
You see this?
But what's this, oh, is this,
That's just Charlie,
This guy's petition.
the sidewalk.
no, what's this right, what's this little area where, this right from here to here?
he's
What's
just
that
saying
for?
it's 35 feet. That's a.
Oh, that goes this way. Oh, okay, all right, that doesn't have to do with this.
Right.
So they want to take just this fence, this whole fence area, right, is where they want to build the
Right
driveway,
up to the
basically?
fence.
Up to the fence. Oh, so not be, so they're not taking the fence out? They're just putting like a little short
And
driveway,
they just want a curb
Kind
cut.
of.
Yeah, it's a curb cut.
a little short driveway. Okay.
It's a curb cut.
Yeah, do you want to see it? Could you see that?
Yes.
Excuse me?
It's just a curb cut.
Yeah, because they're,
This drive is
Yeah.
35, he's drawn around
35 feet long. That'd be good.
35 feet from the house to the curb, or from the fence to the curb. Length of driveway, 35 feet. That seems pretty simple.
That's just a curb.
Pretty basic.
Really, we're only looking at a curb cut.
Yeah.
Right, and they just have to make sure that they.
So how many houses down there have driveways on either side of the houses?
There's a few. I don't know how many, but
And any of the
Ocean
abutters,
Street, you see it.
are there any abutters that are opposed to it?
That, I know.
It would be here.
Is there anybody here for 72 Island Street?
I have a question. It's not on the
It's
agenda, so
your
how
name
would you
and
know?
No, it is on the agenda.
Where?
Name and address, please.
It's
Phil
in the
Pacetti,
address.
Wilson Road.
It's on, under number 5.
Number 5.
Yeah,
Yes.
Parziale, Parziale.
It says Maroney and Paziali.
Parziale. That's
It's
Parziale. This is
72 Island
Parziale.
Street.
So I don't know, I thought Maroney and Paziali was the same.
No, it's not.
Two separate.
Two separate
And
people.
there's no street addresses given.
It says driveway permits.
Yeah.
It's
So
as-
we're
it's-
We have the information in our
72 Island
permit.
Street, Joe, all right?
Okay. I thought it was the same, sorry.
Nope, we have
Whatever
the,
you do what guys do.
all the information in the permits.
Okay,
I'm all right.
But there's nobody here for this?
okay, so what is recommendation from staff?
Yeah, we had no problem.
What is the recommendation from the board?
I
I
have no,
think it's
I have no.
basic and fine.
All right, make a motion to accept the proposal to add a driveway, the second driveway to 72 Island Street.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Wish the other one was that easy to sign.
I know. I feel bad, but.
Okay, next is sewer connection costs.
Sewer connection costs. So I just wanted to establish what the sewer connection cost would be. Now, we went back to town meeting, we changed the bylaw a while back ago. And we haven't had, I don't know if we have any, maybe one residential connection since Sewer 2000, I think it was. And at that point, we charged like $1,000.
One, you have one?
Maybe one,
Wow, really?
yeah. I mean, because we
Existing houses.
haven't expanded the sewer.
Yeah, and, okay.
Other than T-Rock was expanded. They had 4 or 5 units, I forget, individual units along the back of the major multifamily buildings that had a sewer failure. So they came in and installed a sewer in Range Street, and then went to the back of the multifamily and hooked up those single-family units. I think it was 5 or 6 or something like that. And that was a while back ago. They did pay a connection fee, and they have since, I don't know if they're totally connected, but they had since inquired about connecting the rest of the buildings. They have, to my knowledge, I think they're done with their construction connecting, but there is an issue with the sewer connection fee that has been paid, and they're supposed to come back to the board and talk about that. I haven't heard them since, but we had sent them back in 2012 what we thought it would cost to do that. They paid to put the line in, and I guess when they come in and talk about that, we would take that into consideration, that they paid to have the line brought in.
Can I ask a question to this point? I'm confused. So we're going back to 2012 with
They
the,
just started, so what I'm saying is that was probably the last connection that was made.
but they haven't paid for it?
No, they paid for the 6 units.
Okay.
They put in the sewer in Marine Street, but recently they had a need to connect the rest of the buildings.
Yes.
And
So
they
paid for
need to come back to us to discuss about the sewer connection fee, because it hasn't been paid yet.
Okay, all right. So but that was recent,
That's recent.
and they haven't been billed for that connection,
They haven't
those
been
connection
billed.
fees.
They
How much?
haven't been
How
paid.
much was it?
I believe it was $13 a gallon, and it was like 70 grand or
I
something like
thought you
that.
told me around 70, 80 grand.
Right, and they did put the line in, but they should come back and talk about it at some point. Tonight, I wanted to talk about establishing a sewer connection fee, aside from this, because we kind of told them what it would be then, and I think the board would probably honor what we said back in 2012, or not, whatever, but they're not here tonight, so.
Right.
The sewer connection fee itself is based on the value of the system that we have. And I made an adjustment to account for all the work that we've done since 2010. In 2010, we had a value of the system. And then since then, we've invested,
Too cold. I just turned it up.
you know,
Yep. It is a little chilly, but
It's just too cold.
it's such an aggressive
We've
AC in here.
almost $12 million. And so there was a second sheet that I provided that just kind of outlines what we had.
Put it on heat, Con?
I will. What we had invested. And so this process was a process that was recommended by CDM way back in 2006. And that's where I came up with the $13 a gallon back in 2006 when we were dealing with T-Rock.
And that was connection fees, right?
That was the connection fee.
Okay.
So what I'm asking tonight is to set the sewer connection fee for a residential unit to $2,500. You can see what we looked at. We had gross asset value of $55,000. We have about roughly $450,000 a year in capital improvements, and then we have accumulated debt, which we subtract about $823,000, and then less accumulated depreciation in those 10 years, and that's on that spreadsheet in the back. I come up with a net system value of 34 million. Take that net system value divided by the capacity of the plant, you end up with $16.57 per gallon per day. Basically, that's an equitable, kind of an equitable share in your system. And then the average residential sewer usage is about 56,000 gallons per unit. That's what we were using as an average. 153 gallons per day per unit. And then at that 60/57, it comes out to 25/35. And I'm recommending with a connection fee be $2,500.
That makes
And
sense.
the bylaw said, initially it was a minimum of $1,000. But it would be based on this process.
So the bylaw was implemented at what time, and what is the value of money from that point to the current?
It's about, we added about $11.9 million.
No, I understand that, but.
It was
2006
13, and it's now 1657, is that the 13 gallons?
No. When was the last rate changed? What year?
2006, I don't know if it was actually voted then, but we were using that to
Okay,
establish
so-
that.
And what is the value of dollars from 2006 to 2024?
It's $3.57 increase
Increase
per gallon.
per gallon? No, I don't mean that.
Yeah. I'm asking.
The year value of dollars on an annual basis is 2006, $1 value in 2024.
It's probably 8 times. So the connection fee should probably make $8,000.
So, from a dollar to a dollar basis, $1 in 2006 is now worth $1.56.
Oh, that's what you were asking.
Right,
Okay.
right, I'm just looking at it from strictly across the board, not what we improved and all that, but if, we went to the market, something cost you $1 will now cost you $1.56 according to the actual tables. So how does that relate to what we're asking for here, is my point.
Did we go up 50%?
It went up $3
It went up-
57
It went
For
from
connection
13
fee
to
per
16,
gallon.
and is that within the norm? Yeah, so,
I mean, it's almost 20 years. You're talking 2006.
you're right, 20 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Right.
It's not, I mean, $3.57 per gallon.
I'm saying, is,
I don't know,
are we
I feel like that's
shortchanging, my
low.
point is, are we shortchanging the value
We're
of
dealing
dollars?
with a very old system, and
Right, and
it's
we're going to
depreciating.
get, we're going to get that.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
if you're looking to try to establish a value of your system that's, not depreciated, or another way of looking at it, we really have to bring in an expert to try to justify
I
it.
get it, yeah.
Okay,
It has been done, but this is what it was back in 2006. We put 11 million in. It depreciates, straight line depreciation we're using. and-
Yeah.
so
I think
my,
it's a good analysis.
so the system's capacity is $16.57 per gallon today. What was the dollar value per gallon in 2006?
13.
13.
Right.
Okay. I think we're shortchanging ourselves.
Well,
But
I
what
mean,
you're
you
saying is if you had $1 in 2006, that very same dollar would be worth $1.56 now.
Right.
But that dollar is now weathered and old.
And ripped and torn
do
and
that,
falling apart.
But that's really what we're talking about. We're talking
Right.
about not a brand new facility. We're
No,
talking
I
about
get
a
that.
facility
Because
that's-
we want to have to, because we have capital improvements moving forward, we have to make sure we cover that.
Yes.
Because of the existing ratepayers, I'm thinking about the existing ratepayers, should not be picking up the full amount. If someone's coming in new, we should have them
Well,
be
Sewer
equitable to
2000
them, all the other ratepayers.
Sewer 2000, the connection fee was waived altogether. They paid betterments only, and they didn't pay.
But we need to increase it something, so.
We need to have something there,
Right.
because they're starting to trickle in, you know, and so anyways, I try to cover all the bases here, just so we have something to talk about.
Okay.
And to be able to, charge them if they want to connect.
Well, you think it's a good charge because we can't, we're not gonna increase this again, you know what I mean? Like, we should be sure
Well,
that
we could,
it's,
if you
I mean, we
wanna-
can increase it again, but
If you want,
it's not the
I
best
actually asked,
policy.
I asked EP to think about, what it would cost to establish what the value of our system is. But I think they're gonna come up something close to this.
Right, and then we'd have to pay for that to
Oh,
be
yeah.
done, so I'd
Okay.
rather you do it,
Worth it.
save money. Do you see that in the foreseeable future that $2,500 would have to go way up? Do you think that $2,500 is gonna last, is gonna be applicable for another almost 20 years again, or?
If we do increase it, I would highly recommend we have some, actually, we were gonna have Doug Gardner look at this connection fee. He had asked about, 4 years ago during COVID. Yeah, he was actually working on our billing, quarterly billing, at the time. And he's an expert in setting, utility rates.
So if I look at it strictly from the value of the dollar in 2006 of $1, and versus that same, and
Like
to use the
$20.
base for $13.60,
Yeah.
and you're increasing it by the $16.50. If you just look at strictly from the financial dollar value, it should be about $21.21.
Right.
It's 13 times 1.65.
Okay.
So my point of all this is, I think we're a little on the low side, but I think we need to do a little bit more evaluation based on weathered dollar versus a weathered system. But as my other members here, is why should the existing members in the sewer system, called the ratepayers, pick up for a new development coming in and getting a bargain rate? That's all I'm looking for. This is just looking strictly for, I understand the engineering component and all that other stuff. I'm just looking at the dollar for dollar analysis. I'm okay with, setting a new rate with the caveat that we should look at it a little further, do some more investigation.
So you're saying it should be 21?
21,
gallon?
Yeah. Yeah, based on dollars of inflation. And basically, because of the last year, I mean, it's really gone up.
So that
So, yeah.
would bring it to 32.45.
I'm just establishing what we think the value is.
Yeah, I understand from an engineering
If you want to
standpoint.
look at, there's been case study that actually you look at, you take 50% of the depreciated value, which is what we're working with right now, and then you take 50% of the replacement value, which would be what you're talking about right now, what it would cost today.
Right,
So then you would combine the two.
so yeah,
And then-
one side going up, the other side going up, but the other is not equal.
Right, and it was a
It's
case,
a higher
it was a
value.
case where the public benefited on both sides. They wanted to sell a system that was owned by the public to the public, and they were trying to establish the value. And they were, it had fully depreciated, but they said it's still being used, you're still generating revenue. So, it's not fair that we have to, we have to value this at depreciated value, because it's basically still in use. And the judge basically said, split it down the middle, 50% can be used as depreciated value, and 50% can be used as replacement value, which would reflect what Bob is saying.
With the present value of money.
Right, but to use that method We need an expert in here to do.
No, I get that. But what I don't wanna do is say, we're gonna put this on hold. I wanna move forward to have a new rate.
Right.
And then with the understanding that maybe next year, when we do the rate structure, we can revisit at that time, if we need to adjust it that way. That gives us a whole year to determine this makes sense or not.
Right. I'll look at other sources too, not just
Yeah.
EP or somebody else.
So, any other comments from the board?
Just doing your math, Robert, that connection fee should be somewhere around 3,200.
Yeah, 32.45. I'm not in favor of.
I'm just saying that.
Right.
I don't really want to pay for a study to do this.
So I used the depreciation of $1 million from that prior system, because I didn't have the schedule.
Okay.
I used $1 million to depreciate the
So,
projects that were
if-
prior to 2010. Plus, I added the depreciation for all the projects that were forward from
Yeah.
10 in the spreadsheet.
So to throw a monkey wrench in this whole thing, I would like to propose that we not accept the $2,500, but make it $3,000. And that the price per gallon would be $19. And then we visit it at that point, because it's less than the 21, but it's more than the, what you're asking for. Because, and the reason why I say that is because in the last year, we've had a 10% increase in inflation across the board.
I mean, it's really only
Last 2 years,
47.
last 2 years, maybe between real estate, between gas, all the utilities, everything.
Again, this is based on establishing what the value of the system is.
I get that, I get it.
If you want.
So I'm just giving an alternative to the board to discuss.
2006 to 2024, it has to increase. I think 3,000 is a good figure.
It's really only a difference of 465.
Yeah, so instead of 25, it's 3,000, round it off, and from the 1650, just make it $19 even. And then with the understanding, this time next year when we do the rates, we'll revisit the whole process.
Yeah.
But at least we establish a rate increase that's based on time of dollars and value of the system.
Yeah.
How does the board feel about that? I'll make a motion?
Yeah, make a motion.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to set the sewer connection fee for residential units, 4 bedrooms or less, to $3,000, and to set a connection fee on larger parties, multi-family units and commercial units based on the average water consumption at a sewer connection charge of $19 per gallon, but not less than $1,500 per unit, and that this connection fee shall be applied to new construction systems wide. Increases by change of use or increase in number of units to existing connections are subject to the additional charges based on, turn the page,
Increases in.
memo of Board of Public Works.
Or based on increases.
Oh, okay. Increases in projected sewer flow, except single-family units for additional bedrooms up to 4 bedrooms. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
It's a good,
That was a good discussion.
math problem.
Thanks, Rod.
No problem.
Okay, next item is the tie gate emergency repair.
Okay, so, we came to the board with, this prior back in June, I think it was, and since the town forces attempted to try to install a temporary gate, we had lost one of the tie gates. We had hired Northern Construction because they were skilled and they understood how to deal with the flowing water and be able to remove the tie gate and install stop logs so that we could be at least at a status quo condition with regard to the backwater. The elevations have been maintained right where we want it to be with stop logs in place. And so water still is going both ways, but we needed to get the tie gate repaired. So we went out, we got some quotes, and we delivered the hinges of the tie, took the hinges off the tie gates, delivered the hinges to a machinist, and it's being fabricated. Land or Sea Fabrication, Marshfield were the ones that we selected. Northern had reported that yesterday or on Friday that it looks like maybe Wednesday we might get the hinges back refurbished. So the hinges had to have new bushings put in, we had to have 2 pieces manufactured, and to get the hinges so that we could reattach them to the tie gate and get the tie gate back in. Northern gave us a proposal to deal with the work that they had already done, the cost of the hinges, which was $8,000 from Land or Sea, and what it was going to take them to remove all the stop logs, well, install the gate, remove all the stop logs, get it back, put the trash racks back, and all that. $46,000. I gave you a copy of their proposal in the package. So they spent a couple days out there already, and they manufactured the stop logs and put them in all the gates there. They're gonna probably have to go back on the other side and install something back there as well. We have stop logs in the channel that the gate is broken, but they might have to put sandbags. There might have to be some more work to get the water to slow down, because when that tide shifts, it's difficult to work. It's such a quick changeover. But they know how to do it, and they were able to get down in there, get the hinges off, and they can do the work. So that's what it is, and I just wanted to get your authorization because we're required to put a contract together now, even though it's an emergency. It's the payment is, the funding is coming from the town administrator, free cash. He had got that authorized according to Sean. So, looking for a motion to approve that.
I got a question, a comment.
Yeah.
So just for the audience, and the estimates of these 4 hinges range from $8,000 for 4 hinges from Land or Sea Fabrication Inc. to over $15,000 from another machine shop for only 2 hinges of the 4 required to be repaired. So that's what's taken us some time to get these hinges properly machined.
They all had to have new bushings.
Yeah.
They had to drill the bushings out and then
They're all bronze.
sweat fit them,
They're all bronze.
sweat fit them back in place. And
We're just getting the bids out, was enough?
well, just
8,000 to 15,000 for 2.
just to get them.
Yeah.
There's not many outfits that do this, I don't imagine, right?
Well, we had got Mass Pavement, who did work for us. They built some of the works up at Damon's Point. They at their shop, they could do it. They said 15 grand for the 4. And then there was another shop that came in 15 plus for the 2. And then land or sea, they had done work for Northern before. They had done, they used to be in Falmouth, and they're a very reputable.
It's a big swing in price.
Well,
Okay.
Construction.
you just want to get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I'm all right with this.
okay,
You
yeah.
okay?
Yeah,
Want to make a motion to authorize contract 2025-01 Dyke Road Emergency Repairs with Northern Construction Services LLC of Honda, Mass. for the amount not to exceed $46,000, and the chairman or designee authorized to sign the contract when the documents are prepared. For a second?
second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All right, that concludes the action items for tonight's meeting.
Great.
Now we're going to go on to the discussion. There are 7 items. The first one is the DEP letter, Royal Crossing project, send it to state representatives and state senator.
I put that on.
You put that up, go ahead.
Right, and I can't get, I have a draft in my email, which I can't, for some reason, it won't open, because I can't, I don't know, about the signal in here or whatever, but, so, I just wanted some feedback from you guys on how much detail you want in this letter to the state rep. So, we're just gonna go to, Senator O'Connor, Representative Kearney, and then we can send it to Congressman Keating too, if you want. So we're enclosing the DEP letter, and then it's going to be a cover letter to them, essentially asking for their attention to the DEP letter. And like I said, I can send a draft through Amy to you guys
Sure.
In an email, and then you can look at it that way.
Yeah,
But
we can give the feedback to Sean.
you can give it that way, but how much do you
We
want?
don't need much detail.
All right, but do you want any points to be raised in that letter? For example, things that weren't in the DEP letter, like any discrepancies in the perceived facts, or like the elevation issue? The DEP came in with a different elevation than
DEP,
yeah, there was a letter about the elevation at Sylvester Ray, where the DEP, their evaluation, do you know what I'm talking about? The
yeah, the issue.
elevation was lower
The issue is,
than,
we don't need it for the state rep portion.
so do you want any details
We
about any
really
of that
don't.
stuff
What
in
we
it?
need is their support
Yes,
of making sure that the public entities, both Mass DEP and Mass DEP and EPA, look at the PFAS component and the wastewater.
Yep.
And how it's going to affect our drinking water wells. And then our consultant, any further details, our consultant can provide them through our town engineer, to an update.
All right, so you don't want any details in it?
No,
But,
we
I mean,
don't
I do have that, not your exact wording, but that is what the purpose of the letter is.
Right.
But I didn't know if you wanted any other details in it.
No, they don't.
Okay, all right, that's
Because
fine.
if there's more details, then they'll come back to us, and it basically becomes a technical evaluation.
All right,
But
we're-
we want them supporting the technical evaluation.
Yep, and then we're directing them through,
Any
Through-
further details, we go through our town engineer.
through Rod and Sean, I guess, right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Does that make
I'll-
sense, Sean?
Yeah, anything from you
No,
on that?
fine.
Okay, that's it, that was quick then. All right, I'll continue working on that, and I'll send it to Amy and Sean.
Okay, next
And you
item
guys
is,
can send then, you can then send your feedback on it.
yeah, super.
And we'll have it ready for we'll be able to get it signed before our next meeting.
The PFAS regulations are being formulated, and there's major
Right.
discussion across the board, both on the federal and the state level.
Yeah, and I mean, I started getting in the weeds writing this with all of that, and then I was like, they know that, so
You
I'm,
know that.
yeah, I don't want to try to tell them something they already know, that's kind of annoying.
No,
Thank you.
we're looking for the political support to
Yes.
make sure that the technical people really put a hard, because from our consultant,
Mhm.
our consultant says that it's going to harm the wells. And it'll end up be a political issue and probably both a court case.
Right, so we're just bringing their attention to it and with the DEP letter and asking them for their support and then to consult with
Correct.
our experts. Okay, perfect. All right, thanks. We can move
Okay,
on to
next
this.
item is Avon Forest Main Emergency Repair Spending.
Jimmy, did Sean talk to you about that at all? All right, so,
So this is Orion, back to you.
this is back to me. So we had a repair that we had to do at the Avon Street Force Main. It was kind of an emergency situation that we uncovered. We went ahead and did that. We had to bring in some temporary pumps and generators that we had to set up, fencing. So there's a bunch of stuff we did with United Rental. Brought in a contractor to clean out the wet well so we could get the temporary pumps to work, and had Mass Paving come in there and do the repair for us. So there's a bunch of different spending that we did. Wasn't planned, obviously, it was an emergency. So we want to take it out of the reserve fund that we have. In order to take it out of the reserve fund, you have to get permission from the advisory board. So I just wanted the board to know that Sean's going to approach the advisory board and explain that to them.
When did this was recent that this happened?
Just a
Within
couple
the
weeks
last,
ago.
I was gonna say
Yes.
3 weeks, yeah.
Yes.
Do you have the 100,000 in the sewer?
There's 100,000 like an emergency reserve,
yeah,
yes.
That we can use.
That we can tap into, but I guess you have to go to the advisory board in order to
Access it.
pull that trigger, I guess.
I didn't think you did, because we carry it as,
Yeah, we always
we
carry it.
carry it as an expense and it's returned close to revenue at the end, it goes into retained earnings. I
Right.
don't think you have to, because that's why it's there, it's emergency.
Well, sometimes they want you to spend a certain budget line item first and then go back with them.
I don't know what it's gonna cost,
It's running
75?
between, yeah, probably 75,000.
so it's under.
So it's going to eat
Yeah.
up the emergency lines. Okay.
Yeah, but that goes in every year.
Now, was that under the previous fiscal year or the current?
The current one.
None of it was done before June 30th?
It was a July thing.
Was it July? Okay.
Yes,
So it's in the new budget.
yes.
So that means we could be in the town hall at the fall town meeting of trying to get additional funding for the emergency line.
Yes, trying to restock that emergency
Right.
line, yeah.
Yeah.
So, just wanted the
Okay.
board to know that that's where we're going with that.
All right, so next item is sewer connections. Who's that? Was that Ken again?
Well,
No.
I think this is about the Maples.
Okay,
But I guess Clint was approached, Clint Stetson, our chief operator of the plant, about the possibility of the Maples needing to hook up into sewer. And DEP has been involved. What's likely going to happen, likely what we recommend is that they extend a gravity line down Moraine Street, roughly 350 feet or so. They said 500, but it looks like to me it's around 350 feet to where their property is, and then they can go off their property with the gravity system, and then they can force main up to that point. That would be most likely the recommended system. So they extend gravity, they go off, so that their force main doesn't go directly into our gravity system. We would be in control of anything that's in the public way. They would gravity to our system, and then that would be the recommended connection. There was talk about them going force main all the way within the layout of the road, and we're not too much in favor of that. If they did do that and they got permission to do it, they'd have to go to Mass DEP, Mass DOT, and then they'd also have to go, they still have to go to DEP for a sewer extension permit. But it's not something that they would typically do, because it's like running spaghetti. We like to have the gravity system extended, so, the connections can, as you extend down the road, connections could be made for each house as they install it. You get it off the road, so you don't have to go and dig up the road when you install this sewer. So it's kind of at its early stages, but I guess they've got a failed system up at the Naples and they're pumping. So I don't know too much detail. There's a lot of scuttlebutt going on as to, how to sewer this. I did talk to Gary about that initially, and I think this is where he's in favor of this method. He did talk about possibly the forced main. So it hasn't really gone anywhere. I just wanted to make you aware there's a possibility that the Naples wants to hook up sewer, extend sewer somehow. And
So, how many feet, Maples is
it's like
by
20,
Acorn,
I kind of like 22 units.
across the street from Acorn, that intersection. From Acorn to 3A, right? How many, that's 500 feet?
Oh, no, it's, Acorn's much further. I actually have,
But isn't that where the main entrance is?
they have another strip of land
Off the back?
up the back where their buildings are and their systems can come up to
So would that go through the public housing that we have?
That's what they
T-Rock,
want.
is that T-Rock?
That's what
No.
they're trying, that's what they wanna do,
Rod, do you
right?
know
No.
do you know they're trying to go through the T-Rock Gardens?
I don't
Isn't
know.
that what this letter
We
is
would
talking
not
about?
allow it.
Do you see this letter?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
Oh, do you have any?
okay, I thought that's what we were discussing.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I don't. No,
Here, John,
I
why don't I
was
read it?
approached by Gary to talk about that.
Okay.
So we wouldn't allow that to happen.
Yeah. For the audience, should I read it?
Sure,
Sure.
go ahead.
All right, so this is from, right, this is from Maples Condominium. To Mr. Maratha's Executive Director of Marshfield Housing, T-Rock Gardens. So, dear sir, we and our client greatly appreciate the consideration you have shown to our septic plight. So their septic is failing, or it's
Right.
failing, right? What is it, 20 years old-ish?
Yeah, about that. I guess.
Okay. All right, for the purpose of attaining our easement purchase price, we sought the assistance of Mr. Stephen D. Castro, SPA of SG De Castro Appraisal and Consulting, Inc., second generation Marshfield Appraisal Company. Mr. De Castro determined the market value of the subject easement at $25,000. Complete written report to follow this week. On behalf of the Maple Condominium, if we were to proceed with the town sewer connection, we would offer to pay said $25,000 for the easement as shown on the attached plan. Proceeding with the town sewer connection would of course be subject to obtaining all necessary approvals to construct and utilize the sewer therein. The permission is granted to utilize the town sewer system and the Maples Homeowner Association agrees to the terms offered. The Maples condominium would pay for all engineering, legal and other required services and fees related to the Maples condominium's utilization of the sewer within said easement, as well as the town of Marshfield fees for sewer usage for the Maples condominium generated sewage flow. Please note that the Maple condominium sewage flow shall consist of liquid effluent only, as the existing on-site septic tank separating out solids shall remain active on site. Also, the sewer within the proposed easement shall be gravity flow, not pressure pump. This should help maintain pipe scouring flow in your sewer system. We are also considering and continue to investigate the possibility of establishing a new leaching fields. That would be for a new septic. We are currently awaiting the findings of a percolation test, which has been performed, but results of which are not yet available to us. Thank you for your assistance and consideration in this regard. Feel free to call with any questions. This is August 5th, so I was given information that that perk test did pass. But, so, I'm confused, because these sound like two different things
Yeah,
that we're
so
talking about?
I got a little sketch on there. So the existing system that was installed to the units, the single-family units, there's 4 here, but I think they're duplexes, so 6 total. That was installed by T-Rock. in blue. And what I have in red is what Barry was talking about, extending the sewer, gravity sewer down to where this, where their property is. And then they would, hook up a force main pump system, grinder pump, whatever, and connect to that gravity system. So they would have to have somebody construct this gravity system, gravity cross into their property, and then their force main, I don't know if they can make gravity, they could, but I think they were talking force main at the time. So the red is what we would most likely require. The blue is what's there for T-Rock.
So T-Rock is on sewer.
T-Rock, those 6 units in the back were done back in, I think, 2012, I think we were talking about in that time frame. Since then, the other buildings are either all complete or completely tied in as well, and there's more sewer lines within their property. So they're fully sewered, as far as I know. That was happening this spring, they were connecting up. The town bylaw doesn't allow connections, piggybacked to different properties. And it's, for us, it's one of these things, we don't want any finger point, who takes care of it, if there's a plugged line, it's your responsibility, no, we caused it, no, you caused it, those type of things. We just wanna deal with what's within the layout of the road, and I would think that they'd have to get a bylaw change if they were to allow this connection directly into T-Rock. And they can just make money on, set, what is it, $25,000
Right.
to buy an easement so that they can connect
That's-
to a sewer that's connected to our system?
No, yeah.
I don't think
That's
that's.
a good deal for the housing authority,
Yeah.
not for us.
Well,
Except for, I don't know what their fee would be, but it's probably in excess of 50 grand, because I remember talking to them about that, when I was talking.
So what's the environmental impact if we say no?
Yeah, they can put in a new leaching field.
Well, so there's 3 different things here, okay? So there's either they put in a new septic.
Leaching.
Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah,
put,
absolutely.
right.
Right.
So they either do that, or they do a sewer hookup, like a legit one.
Right, which is in red.
Right. Or this letter, which is basically they're asking to piggyback on
Somehow connect.
T-Rock Garden sewer
Somehow
system.
connecting to
Which is-
T-Rock.
Sounds illegal to me. But maybe it isn't illegal, but it definitely doesn't sound like a good, I don't think you, it doesn't feel like we would be, I don't
We're
think
not in
that's,
favor of it, and we don't believe the bylaw allows it. No.
So was this a 40B?
so those are the 3
I'm
things?
not sure if it was a 40 B or not.
22 units. So how many gallons is that?
It's roughly, I was told about 3,300. About 153 units, something like that.
I'm sort of give you my bottom line opinion, is I would not be in favor of piggyback on anything. I would basically, if we were going to do it the regular way and make the connection directly. Because it'll get muddy later on in life. Then you have to do the cost benefit, would I allow it? If there's, really is an environmental issue, I would allow it.
I don't know what the environmental issue would be.
So that's my position.
Can we wait to see if they're gonna connect, do a new septic?
Yeah, I don't know, I just.
They said they were
just sent
looking
this
into
letter
it.
on August 5th, I guess, right?
They said they were looking into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary was talking to DEP about it,
Yeah.
and DEP called Clint, the wastewater plant. I mean, they wanted to, the DEP, to force them to connect to the sewer, but it's a pretty expensive, extension.
What would that cost roughly, do you think? Just like a guess.
I don't know, well, this, the 400 or 500 feet was 110 back then. This is about 350 plus, and probably more, it could be 380 or something. I don't know exactly what it is, but something along those lines. Yeah, you're probably looking at about 150,
Yeah, I would say
You're in a
150 to
state
200,000.
200,000 maybe.
So,
That's just to get it in the road, and then they've got to connect up whatever they're connecting.
So there's 22 units, it's $10,000
they have to
a
connect
unit.
all those units, yeah.
Yeah,
That's not 40B at all.
No.
That was no 40B up there.
No, but
Not
I'm saying
in
to
the
hook up to the
Maples.
sewer, there's 22 units and it's $220, $2,000, it's $10,000 a unit. Then they can hook up, they can enjoy the sewer fee like the rest of the town.
It feels like this, their septic
What
would
will the plant handle?
solve all of
And
this.
this would be, I mean, we just raised it $3,000 for the sewer hookup. Would that be,
What's that gonna do to the plant though?
would that be all
I know.
three?
So does the,
Watch out, but that's why I'm saying, why
right,
don't wait to see what they're gonna
Right.
do with their engineering for a new septic? Which might be cheaper for them to do that.
I feel like that, it sounds like it would be cheaper.
So you're
For the
looking at,
septic.
you're looking at $250,000 all said and done,
If
to
not
hook up the
more.
sewer.
If not more.
No, I understand that, just the ballpark.
Right.
And then you look versus a septic system with the advanced aeration system to protect the wetlands behind it.
Mm.
Well, they're only talking about the leaching of the water,
Right.
not the sludge, so that might give them a break right there. It might not be that much for them to find a new way of leaching.
yeah, so
Why don't we wait till we find out what they're gonna do?
But we don't have to vote on anything,
No.
we're just being.
this is a letter to them, what do they send to us? They send-
This is, so this isn't a letter to us, this is to
This is to the Mr.
Marathis from the
the
housing,
executive director of the housing.
Oh, okay.
That was to the Maples, right?
from the Maples
Oh,
to
from the Maples.
housing, to Marshfield Housing Authority, James Marathis.
Yeah, so
Why should they send
should
it to
be,
him?
T-Rock should be coming
Good
to us
question.
to pay, to figure out what they're gonna pay for their connections to.
I'm not sure why we would have been out of the loop on this letter, but I guess we're in it now.
T-Rock hasn't paid for their connection.
No.
Right, that's what
They
we
did the
talked about
they did the
initially.
first houses and
Yeah.
they put the main in.
So,
And then there was a letter that I sent back in 2012 outlining all the costs. And there were several board meetings to get, them to be able to proceed, get DEP involved. And they did, they hired Watson to put it in, and they put it in, and they got it all connected and re-inspected. It was all done, and they paid the fee for the units in the back, but now they needed to connect, and,
In the spring,
they were
this
told,
spring.
I brought the letter back to their attention that, this is what we said. We outlined all the costs in the future, if you're gonna tie in, this is what we estimate the cost to be. It was that was a 13 at that time.
And that got completed in the spring.
To the best of my knowledge, it's all done.
Okay,
And they started work in the spring.
but they haven't been billed for that yet.
No, we haven't, no, I didn't bill them.
Okay.
why not?
They're gonna get billed though.
They had $110,000 that they put in. I thought that they could come back here and talk to you about, maybe getting a break from the connection. I'm not recommending it. I'm just saying that, that you should come back to the board and talk to them about.
Yeah, but the ratepayers are paying, are paying for the, keeping the infrastructure. We just can't give things away.
I don't disagree, but I think that they wanted to talk to the board about it.
Can we get a copy of the fees on that?
I can give you a copy of the letter that I sent you. I sent that.
Yeah, you sent it, you didn't send it to us, right? I don't remember seeing it.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
She's got the house.
I'll email it to you.
Okay,
Yeah, it was sent to Mike, it was a memo actually it was a memo to Mike Valente, and that was forwarded to them. It outlined all the costs. 85,000 was the total flow, they paid 15, so they owed like 70 grand.
so they haven't gotten billed yet because,
They always
They
say.
want-
I told them to come in and talk to you,
okay,
and they just.
haven't done.
They ignored it.
I'm not sure why we would charge the ratepayers one rate and them another. I don't feel like that's,
No, that's-
I don't feel like that's a good policy.
We need to see the cost, we need to send them a letter and say, only up month.
Can you put together a construction cost evaluation that I'll send along with the letter that I sent? So you can take a look at it, we can address it at another meeting.
Okay.
I can do that. Just kind
Check
of
the only
outlines.
sewer connection component that we're talking about on this item? Just T-Rock, that's it, and Maples?
Oh, yeah.
The
There's
Maples-
no other-
yeah, the
no other
Maples
sewer.
was the one that was,
Yeah, there's no other sewer connections, just those
no,
are the items.
that's just those two.
Okay. Are we done with this item?
Yes.
All right, now,
For the
let's
next,
go.
we gotta put it on for the next meeting.
So just put it on a future meeting.
We gotta collect this money that's owed to us.
Yeah.
How much is it, Rod, the total?
70 grand.
70,000.
That's for the permit, correct?
Connection fee at 13.
And what about,
The old rate. Not the new rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was
Well,
the
it's all-
rate then. That was the rate then, so.
Okay, so let's go on. Item number 4, proposed improvements to Library Plaza Road. You out there working today, I saw them out there?
I put that on,
Yeah.
because Library Plaza Road is snow road. And the work they're doing is on the shoulder of one of our roads. So they need to come before us, before they start digging.
Who's doing what?
Chamber.
That's the Chamber of Commerce. Are they planting trees or something? Or putting in a bench or something like
Yeah,
that?
they plan to dress it up on the side where, there's sweet cakes, is their Veronica's, on that island. That's not the
Oh.
island on the right, but the island on the left in front of the little restaurant that's on the corner, and Veronica's sweet cakes in there. They want to do some dressing it up, or either plant trees or benches or digging, whatever they want to do, but that needs to come before the board here.
So send them a
Because it's
letter.
on Snow Road, right?
Send the
It's on the
chamber-
road, it's not in the parking lot.
It's actually like it's like an easement that goes through there.
So send them a letter,
It's
ask
not
them to
laid
come
out
to
as a road,
have,
Oh.
find out what's going on.
So then is it not us if it's not a
it's a
road?
driveway more or less.
Yeah, we own the road?
That's a gray area.
We own the road,
I
yeah.
don't know if we own the,
The island, I think
Island.
mostly is owned by them.
for them, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I probably have a plan showing approximately where the property line is.
could be this curve, and I'm not sure.
All right,
They need to come before us. So
okay.
can we send them a letter and,
Yes, they,
Jimmy, you want to send them a letter?
Go ahead.
So, what,
Send them a letter.
so I think we need to send them a letter, asking what they're doing, and what the meets and bounds are, the town-owned property versus their property.
The Commerce,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Commerce,
right.
yeah.
All right, next item. Hydrological study status, environmental partners, bridal path, 40 B.
Yeah, just received, we're concentrating right now on the wells, getting the wells, monitoring wells put in.
Maybe.
They gave me a proposal on Friday. I haven't had a chance to really vet it. There's a couple of questions I have. So I talked to Sean about basically pushing it off. We'll have to make an amendment And we have some money available, but we'll need some other money that we have got approved from town meeting, the 100,000 out of that, to put these wells in. We got 7 wells that we're talking about. And so we'll push it off to next meeting, but I just wanna let you know that's
Okay.
where we're at.
Okay,
That's what we're focusing on right now.
So these are century wells?
Monitored wells.
Mine.
and how many are there?
7 proposed,
And they're going on,
various spots.
okay. But
Yeah.
you'll let us know,
Yeah,
okay.
I'll let you know where they're going.
All right,
Okay, anything else on that item?
No,
No, okay. Number 6, Bay Avenue seawalls.
so,
Duxbury.
last week I was notified by Pat Brennan, who was working on the seawall plans. Actually, they went out to bid to replace the remaining seawalls in Duxbury. And the seawall ends about 50 feet short of the Bay Avenue access ramp. So there's a piece of seawall that, to the south of the ramp, that actually is town of Marshfield responsibility. So he asked if we wanted to contribute for that portion of it and have them do that. It's a little bit more involved,
always.
always. I mean, right now, the cost for the seawall, he's saying, is about $5,000 a linear foot, so that would be $250,000 that we would have to come up with at least. And then, once we dig up and we would probably do the return wall, so that's even more, and then the ramp would get involved. So there's a lot to bite off, and I don't think we should go that. I would ask them that at minimum that to protect their wall, when we replace the wall in the future, that they should bring their sheet pile and their footings beyond where their wall is, so that when we dig, we won't disrupt their brand new wall. So it's something I want them to ask, but I just want to let you know, and get your opinion on whether or not we should. There's permitting issues too, right? We haven't permitted it, so I don't know if we could piggyback on their permitting, and it's just,
If we have access point there, we're gonna do half the access point? We're gonna do both sides in the wintertime.
I would have to
That-
dig the
that-
whole
that-
ac-
that
I'd have
whole
to dig
section,
whole axis.
The
I'd
northeast
have to
wind
redo it.
comes straight into that access point and kills that section.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wanna live there in the northeast, it's like, oh my God, the rocks that fly through there.
No, eventually we've got to do that seawall,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we should do.
Should we just do one half and then after the other? It's like,
We're not gonna do the 50 feet and not return it, and so
Right.
that's digging that all up, and, it's gonna be way more than just the $50, the $5,000 for 50 feet.
no, because you got the other,
We got
parentheses
the
that go
access
along with
point,
it.
was probably, another 300,000. You know what I mean?
That's no
It's
good.
more than that. But we'll look into it, we'll look into the permitting, and, maybe come back with, if we wanna move forward with that.
Do they have a grant?
I don't think so. I think they appropriated $20 million to,
The town did so?
yeah.
Wow.
The Luxbury.
So if they do it and then we don't do our section, do they, like,
So their
Just how do you
seawall
make
is,
that
their seawall is gonna be,
separate? It's gonna be
this
high.
height, just like we ended our seawall down at Brant Rock. It'll be at about
there's gonna be a difference in height?
3.5 feet or so difference in height.
Don't walk on the wall.
It-
No. Okay, so,
It might be a problem, it might be a problem, having that truncated right there.
so this is $20 million at the Duxbury, how long is the wall going to be?
There were 2 sections, one was 800 feet, and then the other was, let's see here, 850 on one section and 1435 on the other section. I think that totals, 2,200, 2,300 feet, something like that.
2,300 feet, $20 million. Wow. That's more than 5,000 in a linear foot.
It's 11.5 million.
11.5 million
There's
construction
there's some
costs.
other work there too.
There's a bunch of other work,
Stuff
okay.
like that, but I think, you know, that's what he said, is roughly 5,000 a foot.
Okay.
So we'll look into it, maybe,
So from that point down to where our seawall is, how many linear feet do we have on the Marshfield side, on Duxbury Beach,
let's see.
or Green Harbor Beach?
1,000 feet down to where we just did that 100 foot, and that was $700,000, that little 105 foot section. That was,
So if we go from the Duxbury line to where we need to do, how many linear feet is that?
off the top of my head, I don't know, I think it's under 2,000.
And then, and they have 2,000 and they just appropriate $20 million?
Right.
So,
And our houses are much closer, you know.
so we're looking at the do Duxbury Beach, somewhere in an equal dollar value.
Yeah.
2,000 linear feet,
Well, we
$20 million.
paid 7,000 a linear foot for 105 in the middle, and that was just replacing an existing.
Right.
We had to drive sheet piles down in front of it,
And that's our section gets whacked. At high tide, it's wet almost the time. And even if you put sand down there, sand's not moving, it's going to Duxbury.
and we have to establish what the height's gonna be there. They pretty much established the same height that we established on the other end of town, with Frank Rock. They're using 24, more or less, a little bit under, like 10 or something. But
Wow.
basically, elevation 24 above mean low water is what they're using as their height.
So how much sand is still left on the Duxbury Beach they put out there?
There's a lot,
Yeah?
yeah,
So, successful?
so far. It didn't all disappear. It
Okay.
could change in a day.
Oh, yeah. All right, next item, number 7, preliminary replacement design of Dyke Road, tie gate structure.
Right, so that was on the street, that RFP was on the street, and we were supposed to get the proposals by this Thursday, and I pushed it off a month. I got a couple of questions about the amount of the effort to do the permitting, and they're saying that the value that was established for permitting was way too low, because they're gonna make us jump through hoops on that. So I met with the consultant that was raising this concern, and then I basically decided that we should just put it on hold for a month. I'll need to find out from MEMA whether or not I can change the scope. Now, so one thing I could do is change the scope and just do what we can do. Get through the permitting, the MEPA process. Get through whatever evaluation, environmental impacts, whatever they make us do, that they're saying is above and beyond what most likely was considered when the other consultant that we had worked with came up with this budget. They're saying it's gonna be much more, and it was 2 years ago, so I guess the regulatory individuals are a little bit more strict, or whatever, they're asking for more analysis. Anyways, I gotta find that out. So the one approach is to go and reduce what we can do for the money that we were appropriated, and I gotta go through MEMA and FEMA in order to get an approved change in scope. So that's one way of doing it. The other way is to take and apply town funds to this, in addition to what we're already applying, and to what we're getting for the grant. The grant was $165,000. And then we might be able to, apply for more grants. I don't know, I didn't want to complicate this anymore. So those are the kind of the two options. So the funding would come out of, subject to the board's interpretation here, but part of this project is to replace the whole sluiceway, but move it kind of towards Brant Rock by 25 or 50 feet or whatever it was. So that you have the existing, you'll be able to pass the water through, you build your new structure, and it's a bigger structure. It takes into consideration raising the road potentially in the future. It takes into consideration sea level rise, so you have, make sure you can drain the backwater out. And then there are environmental impacts, I guess, by moving it. I don't know why it would be so much more, but those are the things that have to be looked at. So we would use potentially seawall money to make up the difference of what we think it would cost to provide this additional analysis that they're talking about. And so one of the things, I want to make sure that all of the consultants are on the same playing field. So I want to basically come up with a scope. Before I said, come up, do the preliminary design, and I didn't tell them what had to be done. I wanted them to tell me basically what had to be done, and then I would evaluate, well, this guy really knows what he's talking about. You've got to do this, 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 and this, so you get a better score. So that, there's room for us to be able to evaluate these, because they're all basically, we're given a budget to work with, and a goal was to complete the permitting and to get the preliminary design done. So that's what we're trying to get done. But when the permitting is under budget, or under what we think the budget should be, then it becomes difficult for us to be able to evaluate all the proposals. Somebody might put a condition on it. Well, that providing that, we only have to do this, this, and this, here's the evaluation. Then somebody else might say something differently, and it's hard for us to evaluate these. So I want to get what needs to be done from either CZM or somebody. Jason Bertner is from CZM, is very knowledgeable about the salt marsh in this area. He knows, he knows about the operation of the tide gates. He might be able to help me out trying to define what is going to have to be done. They're telling us that we've got to jump through hoops. We've got to look at, impacts of the salt marsh and all kinds of different things. So those are the two approaches that we can use to move forward with this. So I haven't talked to Nima yet, and I was going to, but first I wanted to talk to Jason Bertner about it. But I put the proposals on hold for a month to try to get something resolved. Yeah.
Is this you presented this to us before, didn't you, Ken?
The overall.
Right? When-
We got the overall scheme of what we're trying to do.
Right, there was
Right.
three
With
different
different
options,
Right, yeah.
and the biggest option was potentially raising the street and the whole bit like you just
Well, it was
described,
just,
moving
right,
it
it was
down. adding
replacing
the street, yeah.
replacing it, the whole gate, replacing instead of rehabbing
Right,
what was
and
there.
then raising the street potentially, and then widening the whole,
The
like
main,
moving it all.
yeah, we're just saying that the structure that they build should be able to deal with,
Yeah, Right.
the raising of the road, be able to support, the raising of the road. That type of consideration.
but now the requirements have changed.
Well, no, it's just that the permitting,
Permanent requirements.
they're saying that the budget that was agreed upon is too low.
Yeah.
There's no way they could do it for the $75,000 that they had put in the original budget.
So we raised it. We need to get it done, I mean, the bottom line is, I mean,
Right,
this is
so,
gonna be over the next 100 years, and it's gonna go
so,
global.
you know, question, can we use the seawall funds? I'd have to get an opinion on that. And I'll need to get, you know, an estimate, or somehow word, what needs to be done, and then they can provide us with their estimates, and then we'll, you know, once we evaluate and select who we're gonna, then we'll negotiate what we have
Fine.
to pay for that
I
item.
mean, if it's, I mean, it's gonna cost us what it's gonna cost us.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure that at the end of the day, we have a solid structure there that is not gonna break down. That it's gonna withhold any kind of sea rise, and that, it's not gonna flood the downtown because the tide gate doesn't work.
Right.
I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go cheap on it. I don't wanna go expensive either, but I don't wanna go, you know, and, you know, nickel wise and 5 pound foolish.
Anyways, that's, I just wanted to let you know that was like, they put that on hold for a month to figure this out.
Okay.
Anyway.
And if we have to go back to the town meeting and get additional funds because of it, we make the case of this is what it is, and go from there.
Will you try to see if there's a grant available for the extra costs on
Yeah, the
that? Or do you
grants-
think there isn't?
I was told that, you know, we might be able to get it, we didn't apply, for one, I didn't know that we were in
It
this
was going
situation.
great.
We would be competing about, you know, with, I guess, another round of,
Oh,
doing, St. Beach Nourishment, whatever. And then also there was another MVP grant that was, application was submitted for the Veterans Park, which we didn't get. Incidentally, that particular, project is out, to bid right now, the Veterans Park. So, bids will be open like, the middle of September.
Veterans Park.
Veterans Park, dam removal.
that's the dam
The
removal, yeah.
Okay,
That is out to bid.
that's because of the fish.
Yeah, there's no fish.
No, I'm serious, about the fish.
But also if it fails, right, it has to come out because if it fails, everybody's gonna get
I
flooded, is that
don't
right?
want to get into that.
Oh, yeah, that was a big long strip too.
Ooh,
That was a long.
That is a fish ladder.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're putting in check, they're putting natural dams in that are, you know, that they call riffles, 5 of them, and they have they have openings, and they're staggered, and they, you know, allow, rest areas for the fish to kind of rest and then they can go through.
That's nice.
So,
Well, it took a long journey from the ocean over there.
Everybody needs to have a little rest on their travels.
They have to be produced.
yeah, well, that's what they wanted to do.
Right.
The thing is, we didn't want the lagoon to dry out.
Yeah,
And just by taking out the
The dam itself without
dam
any
with the
check
water level
valves.
would drop and then the lagoon would be dry, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't have Veterans Park, at least
Yeah.
a wet Veterans Park.
right.
So that's, you know, they've got weirs that are involved in there and different, water, you know, features that, you know, need to be installed, so.
So-
That's out to bid right now.
Okay. Let's go to the next item, which is vote to accept minutes. We have 2
Okay.
minutes meeting, one of the last meeting and one of a backlog, 2023. So I make,
Maybe
I'll put it on the agenda,
go on the thing.
on the floor to accept the meeting minutes of July 29, 2024.
Second.
Any comments on the minutes?
That was a
Oh, yeah.
It's an excellent meeting.
The one with the presentation, our program.
Yes, it was.
I guess Sean had a problem with
Yes,
a meeting with the residents down there.
something happened,
Yeah, here was his problems down there with them.
yeah, something, someone
Okay.
didn't, he had the time and someone didn't show up twice.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
that's what happened at
so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of July 29th, 2024.
the second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So the next item is the backlog, Tom Reynolds as superintendent of September 11th, 2023. I want to thank Amy and Anne Marie for doing due diligence on getting this stuff together. Any comments on this?
No, thank you for doing it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's better than handwritten,
That should
it's
keep, that
understandable.
should keep the kid happy.
So I make a motion to accept the minutes of September 11th, 2023. Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm going to turn it over to Assistant Superintendent,
So that's me.
um,
We're just doing our,
James Kent, for an update of superintendent's report. If there's any.
okay, we're doing our daily maintenance on the roads, patching, cutting roadside. You know, we started doing some drainage down in front of Tumble Fund, to get rid of that big puddle that's always there. We started that, and still doing the beach rubbish, continuing on beach rubbish, like I said, patching potholes. Now our patch trailer broke again, so we gotta send that up to get fixed. So, other than that, I think that's about all we've done so far.
All right.
This week in streets today.
And is that the superintendent's report?
Yes.
All right.
Is that all
We
right?
get the kiss method. It's simple. Comment from the floor. Take your name and address.
Joe Pasevich, Wilson Road. What's the status of Countryway? Because the potholes there are getting deeper, more dangerous.
Right, I was on Countryway today. There's kind of a big square one, like
I think it's where they did
in
test
the middle
holes.
of the
I
street.
think, I don't know what's going
Where-
on there doing test holes.
Yeah, they did some test holes over
Yeah,
there.
but those,
Yeah.
those,
Right, that one that's
They've
kind of
been there
in the
for-
middle,
for weeks
that's,
and months.
that needs to, something has to go there, because somebody's gonna lose the whole underneath of their car if they go in.
There's two of them,
I-
really.
It's on the schedule to be done. I know I gave a budget to Sean, who was setting up the project for it.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you could throw
I
some
know we're
cones
trying
in
to get
there.
the Chapter 90
No,
request in.
something.
Yeah, that's, I think where we are, is the chapter 90 request.
Yes.
Right, can you put cones or something there?
We'll
I mean,
try-
it,
we'll try to
like
get
with
it
the
back.
sun,
I don't know if Glenn can do it or.
It was a
if
little
one of us
hard
try
to even
do it.
see.
I think it just,
driving up
I think
on
there's
it.
just, I think we just need to throw some more material in there.
Okay,
What,
we'll take care of
gravel?
that.
Gravel?
Just-
Just don't come right up.
Uh,
You did that in Grant Rock, it was out in
I
4
know,
hours.
it kept coming out, kept coming out,
It-
I know.
It's gone. Might as well do nothing.
I see you, Joe. Hope
I
you-
just want it to be marked because when I was going through there today with the angle of the sun and everything, the color of the, like you really couldn't even see it till you were almost on it and it's not, there's one on the side, but this is the one that's kind of in the middle that was more concerning to me because I could definitely have seen myself, especially if it was dark, driving right into it. So a cone, I mean, you can't really put a barrel, I don't think, in the middle of the street, but maybe you could,
You
but
can, but people would just.
How long are we?
they're just gonna hit it.
We'll
So
try to go.
I don't know, something, you have to do something there.
Put one of those green guys up there.
Yeah, right.
Organization.
So Joe, you had a comment?
Really bad.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I had seen cones there, but they got run over.
they
and
did get
destroyed.
squished.
And I had an issue with a parking lot that I was helping somebody with, and I used that recycled asphalt material, which has got lots of large gravel and
Talking
asphalt.
about millions.
The millings, I'm
Yes.
sorry, that you get up on Clay Pit Road.
Yeah.
And when I threw that into depressions, it stuck. It didn't bounce out. It really worked really well.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you how to patch
No,
roads,
no,
believe
I
me.
know, I've seen it work, but I don't wanna waste the stuff that we gotta just regain.
The millings are so dirt cheap, you know,
No, yeah,
and
no, they're not.
I'd recommend throwing it in there.
Right, those are, openings are there for, because you're gonna work on that road,
We're gonna put
The-
drainage.
the drainage.
Yes.
So I don't know how you mark that so that people don't drive into it, but
Maybe put barrel instead of cones.
I don't, big fluorescent
Got a
paint
patch.
or something, I don't know.
Can't you put a patch in there? Can't you put some asphalt?
We probably could.
What about those metal things? Don't you have those that go over holes?
Planks.
Oh.
Yeah. Can't do
Wait,
that?
Steel planks.
Plates.
Take the front end out. I mean, we're not talking.
It's
about-
big, it's really big.
Okay,
They're cabinets.
Yeah.
we'll do it tomorrow, we'll get it on
Yeah.
it tomorrow,
Some asphalt.
if I can find some.
Or a plate or something.
I
anything
just told you,
to
Joe,
use.
the patch trail is broke,
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
So you can't use that,
so we can't use that. Maybe I'll try to get some millings.
okay?
Okay. All All right, anything else that we want to beat up the deputy superintendent
Come
on?
on, bring it on.
Sorry for
Because I'm
asking.
gonna talk to you guys after
All right.
anyway.
Oh, I
So,
just,
you
I want to
want, you
thank
have
the.
something to say to beat up on?
No, I
the
want to say
superintendent?
something to make them feel good.
Make who feel good?
Anybody,
Oh.
All right,
whoever will take it.
so
No, thank you
it's,
for patching the
it's
thing.
8:20.
No,
Wait,
don't,
It was at the-
no,
You
thank
gotta
you,
go.
thank you for filling in that trench at Plymouth Ave and Billings.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's an area it's a trench and it's collapsing, and the traffic was pounding that thing, ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And it was getting deeper and getting louder, but you guys put a patch on it about 5 days ago. Much better, thank you.
Okay. Anything else, Joe? I don't catch you up.
That's the only nice thing I
When you
can
start.
Okay,
That's adjourned.
okay. So, it's 8:20. I would like to adjourn this meeting.
2 weeks.
Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Marshfield.